I want to talk about how you're solving this, but before this, GPS, it's easily spoofable now and jammable. So it's just really expensive to do this, right?
Yeah, jamming is trivially easy. So jamming is essentially using an RF signal and overpowering the signal you're jamming. And GPS are on satellites. They're about 10,000 kilometers away. And the signals are pretty weak by the time they get to your cell phone. So it's fairly easy to buy a jammer. You can buy it for $20 off eBay that will overpower that signal. But you would know that, right? Because your GPS is offline, it would create problems for you. But what you're seeing with more sophisticated actors like Russia, like China, is they have the capability to spoof. And spoofing means you create a fake GPS signal and make the receiver think it's in a different time or location than it actually is.
Mhm.
And this is in the news quite a bit lately because of, the Ukraine conflict. Russia has had a long history of making ships and planes think they're in different locations than they actually are.
Hmm.
This is fairly well documented. There are reports that talk about this. There is some reports, unconfirmed, that when there was a drone that crashed in Iran a decade or so ago, the Iranians used GPS spoofing, Chinese spoofing equipment to make the drone think it was actually on the other side of the border. And then, of course, it didn't know exactly where it was, and then went over the border and got shot down. So you're absolutely correct. This is part of the problem with GPS is just it's very susceptible to, outside
Mm.
influences
And,
like that.
and when it's spoofing, is it returning a signal to the GPS satellites with different locations than it actually is? Because the location is kind of on the time that it takes the signal to reach the location. And so what they're doing is they're kind of like waiting to send it back, or how does spoofing work kind of technically?
No, you're absolutely right. So the way GPS works fundamentally is each satellite in the GPS constellation knows its own position in time.
Mm.
And it transmits that signal to you, the receiver on the ground. Now, you don't know your position or time, but you know the satellite's location and time, and it has a way to calculate the distance of the satellite. Now, if you know that position and you know the distance to it, can't triangulate your location. That's why you need about a half dozen GPS satellites in view at any given time to accurately triangulate your position and time.
Hmm.
So what the GPS spoofers do is, again, they overpower the GPS signal and they put in kind of a false position or time on their transmitter so that your receiver thinks, oh, that's a GPS satellite. I will triangulate my location to that. And, you know, you can wreak a lot of havoc that way. You don't have to come up with too many sci-fi scenarios where you can imagine, potentially hijacking a plane or a self-driving vehicle by making it think it's in a different location than it actually is.
Hmm. Yo, what's up, everyone? I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. I have more clips on the channel, and the full podcast is linked in the description. And I got some more cool interviews coming soon. So I'll see you guys in the future. Peace.